Hello and welcome. This is Cosmic Credential, and today we are bringing you Pokemon, the tier list for games, based on my opinion. And so, therefore, I don't know. People might not like the way I put these. Some people might like it a lot. Please leave a like and a comment down below, and let me know what you think. And definitely, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get started, folks. So, these games, most of them I have played. I've played Pokemon Blue, Yellow, and Fire Red, and then from Diamond Pearl to Scarlet Violet, I have them all. So it's gonna get a little fuzzy. I do technically have the digital versions of all of them now. Back when they did that on the DS, or 3DS, I should say, but didn't have them at that time of their release, so I'm not going to really include much opinion about them. Um, so with that being said, I'm going to put them, the ones I didn't ever actually get to play, right here in the did not play. That doesn't mean I haven't now. It just means I didn't play them when they came out, so my there's no childhood connection to them. Because these would I would have been a child when these came out. Now, as for the ones I left, Blue, very good. I enjoyed Blue. Blue was I like Blue, and Squirtle was my first starter. Um, Sorry about that. My cat decided to make a cameo and then had to leave very abruptly. Otherwise, he'll push the pause button on recording and I have to do this again. It's fun. Alright, moving on. Pokemon Yellow. I I do realize this was supposed to be a branch of the animated series, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. I enjoyed having Team Rocket in the game. I kind of wish it was something they continued. I did not enjoy the fact that my choices was Pikachu. I was never a big fan of Pikachu. Still not really a big fan of Pikachu. I don't actually ever put him on my team ever. I will catch him for the Pokédex, but I will not put him on my team. So that's where he goes. It's an okay game. I do like a lot of the things they put into it. So I've got nothing really negative to say. Um, Fire Red. I never got Leaf Green, so it technically would be not here, but Fire Red is up here. I did get to play this a little bit. I never got to finish this game. I think I got to the third gym, and then the game got stolen from me. So, yeah. So, there's not much to say about that one. So, we're going to move on to the games I still have to this day. I have all their cases, except for. I want to say Black 2. I don't think I have Black 2's case anymore. I think I lost it. And as for Diamond and Pearl, I believe I still have. No, I don't have either one of these anymore. Pearl got lost when I moved. I was playing the game at the time, and somehow it got ejected out of there. Yes, I still don't understand how. And Diamond, I loaned to a friend, and I never got back. So, but I do play them. I have played them. So, in my opinion, they are very good games. I enjoyed them a lot. But my all-time favorite, and I still have it, and it's in my DS right now, is Platinum. I enjoy Platinum. Platinum to me is the ace out of the three. Just kind of like how I hear Crystal is better than Gold, Silver, Emerald's better than Ruby, Sapphire. Platinum is definitely better than Diamond and Pearl. And I'm going to say this now. When we get to the remake over here, this remake is not going to be near these two. Because to me, it was a carbon copy of these two with none of the updates, which was sad. So much lost potential. But Platinum was very good. That was one I wish they had made the remake off of. Of course, I also wish that about Crystal and Emerald as well. So, moving forward. So, unlike Crystal, Gold, and Silver, I do have Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And to me, they are very good games. I enjoy them a lot. I will spend hours, days, chasing down all the unknown letters and punctuation. So, we have that. Another thing about Heart Gold and Soul Silver I enjoy is the fact you're start any Pokemon I actually follow you. Another thing about Heart Gold, Soul Silver that I enjoy is it's two regions in one, and I enjoyed a lot. So let's see her. Next is Generation 5. Generation 5 was the next game in the series. Unlike Generations 2, 3, and 4, was basically, in a sense, just like Generation 1. 100 plus new Pokemon, all from scratch, no pre-generation Pokemon, no nothing like that. And it was amazing. That's why I love them so much. They're some of my favorite games. I love the fact that you had to build a team with all brand new Pokemon. Loved it. Loved it. And then Black and White also broke from the traditional third game series where the third one's usually better than the first two. Um, Instead, we got Black White 2. And this is what I thought about them. Because not only did they break what they did in the first game, it's like they went back and undid everything. They added all of the Pokemon, well, not all, but a good chunk of Pokemon from other generations in there that you can catch pretty much before your first badge. And it's like you don't have to use any Pokemon that's new to the game at all, except for the starter if you choose to keep your starter. And it just to me was not great. Now, another thing about Generation 5 that I did like though is it was the last of the DS games. Everything that came after that was for the 3DS. And there was complete changes from there. Generation 5 was the last game series to just be Pokemon related. It didn't have a gimmick. Generation 6 and on had some sort of gimmick like Mega Evolution, Dynamaxing, um, Terran or Terrestrialization, Z moves. It had it. So that brings us to Generation 6 since we're on that topic. Generation 6 to me was very good. I loved Mega Evolutions. I loved. Mm, I loved the starters to an extent. I wasn't a big Chessman fan, but I did use Chessman. I played the game at least 3 times to have each starter. Um, Sorry, I didn't mean to pull it off. And then I've played the game multiple times. So I've beat the game multiple times. We even did a whole YouTube channel on Pokemon X. So don't really have much negative to say. I like it. I play it a lot. All right. The next one is the remakes of Generation 3, Ruby and Sapphire. Now, Ruby and Sapphire, the originals, I never played. But Ruby and Sapphire, the remakes, I did play and loved them. Love them. I think I'm playing in my 3DS right now, and I'm playing Alpha Sapphire actually. And the one thing I did is I actually brought in my favorite starters. I kept Trico and brought in Froakie and Chimchar because if I can have all three of my favorites in there, I'm gonna have all three. Now I need to correct something here. I said all my favorite starters. Trico up until Sun and Moon was my favorite grass starter, and it was really the only grass starter I actually liked 100% of the time. I do like Snivy and Generation 5. It's an okay grass starter. I don't use it very often. It's not my favorite. I wasn't a fan of Chikorita or Bulbasaur or Turtwig. So, that being said, eh, you know, my grass starters were pretty limited until Sun and Moon. So, up until this point, my grass starter favorite was Trico. My fire was Chimchar, and then Cyndaquil, and then yeah, at that point, because I didn't like Torchic, I didn't like Charmander, I didn't like Tepig, and then the water Pokemon was Greninja and Bulbasaur, or not Bulbasaur, Squirtle and Mudkip. I do like Mudkip, and I'll go into more detail about starters later. So, all right, now on to Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Generation 7. Honestly, Sun and Moon were not complete in any way, shape, or form. That's why they released Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon sometime after. And yeah, it fixed some things in the games. But to me, those games were so handholdish, guided you, lack of exploration in them, which was sad. I actually have honestly never completed these games. I've never caught the Ultra Beast themselves, other than Poipole, I think. I have to go look. So, and I need to catch them and move them to. Well, actually, I can go to Galar and do the whole Dynamax and Cave thing. I think I can get from there. If not, in Scarlet and Violet now. So I don't even have to go back to them. I don't think I'll have to look it up. So, but that's what I think about the Sun and Moon series. There's a handful of Pokemon I liked out of those games, but pretty much everything else about them I did not enjoy at all, not even remotely. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Yeah, they're okay. I realize they're kind of a knockoff version of Pokemon Go, and you know, trying to bring Pokemon Red and Blue to the Switch type era. I just think this could have been done differently. They could have brought back like Heart Gold, Soul Silver in a sense of this, and had both regions. and been done with it, or done something more like Region 1 through 3, since we've already had the remakes of where they brought back and you just, region hopped. I don't know. There's just something about this that could have been done different. I don't hate them. They were decent to play, on modern gaming console, but other than that, Sword and Shield. As time has progressed, my opinion of Sword and Shield has diminished. I did not like the starters. They were okay. They some were used, like Score Bunny and Sobble, or but other than that, it was just kind of like, yeah. So I did import my starters to the game, or the ones I could. I think I ended up importing, um, keeping Score Bunny and importing uh, Trico and Greninja. Trico and Froakie. Because Chimchar Generation 4 was not in that game, so I couldn't bring Chimchar. So, it is what it is. Speaking of Chimchar and Generation 4, the remakes of Generation 4 are meh at best. Yes, I did a whole video series on Pokemon Brilliant or Shiny Brilliant Diamond. Yeah, Brilliant Diamond. Had to think for a second and played through the whole game. It is a carbon copy of the originals, literally, except blah. No improvements on anything, no changes. Everything is per where it was. Now, I'm not going to knock this that if you can't get a hold of the originals or and you were born after the age of the DS and 3DS, and this is the only version of Diamond Pearl you got, great game. I'm not going to knock that. Has potential, but other than that, yeah. Legends Arceus. Originally, I believe I put it here in the all-time favorite category, but now that it's had some time, it's aged, it's you know got some years under its belt. I think it's actually still a good game. I love the change that they did this. I love the fact that they made it an open world per 5 areas of the map. It's not a full open world. You can't go from the starter city all the way to the Temple Mount without crossing into a new region, I guess you could say. But everything was pretty open world. You can see the Pokemon right there on the map. You knew what you were getting into. You knew where to look. You um, all that. Now the super large Pokemon. So yeah, I had a train of thought, but I lost it. Other than that, it is what that is. Um, I am looking forward to Legend ZA to see what they're bringing to the table in that one, because there's no book on this yet. There's no they don't have a pattern, so the Legend series could literally be its own thing and go down different rabbit holes. So now, lastly, Scarlet and Violet. These games are still fairly new, and I truly believe they are really good games. Um, do I think they're my all-time favorites? No, but that's okay. There's parts of Scarlet and Violet I do not like. I did not like the three different things you had to go do in order to get to the zero area or whatever it's called. I didn't care for the whole bullies being, I don't know, that whole storyline was just so weird. And then there was the huge Pokemon, and it's like, ugh. I mean, but it was offset. It was truly open world. You could go anywhere from the moment you got out of your house. Did the game guide you to some extent up to that first period? Yes, but you still could do pretty much what you wanted to do. And one of the things I did was I transferred in a Rookie and a Chimchar and a Rowlet, bred them, got me a couple eggs, hatched them, had my starters, and played my game. So that's what I did. Now, with that being said, I do want to point out that is the last of the games put up here on the board. And frankly, I think, time has changed. I mean, I think this is a good layout. Now, next time I do this video in a couple years, I'm probably going to have a different opinion about some of these games and move them around because I'll have had a chance to get a hold of them, play them in the original games that they've been wanting. So, but no one knows, not until it happens. But with that being said, I definitely want to remind everyone, though, regardless of where your favorite game landed, to hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and leave a comment. And in that comment, tell me what you would change, or if I was close to your top four. So, with that being said, folks, thank you for watching. I hope y'all have a great day. Later.